El Salvador. Ivey met with families who claim the El Salvadoran government is disappearing citizens into its prison system.
We were coming. They knew why we were coming. They knew when we were coming. And they just stonewalled us at the gate. So that was ridiculous.
You ought to have a chance to come in and visit.
I mean, I just think it's, it's a congressional delegation making an international trip, essentially a fact-finding mission to not.
Welcome to the Reaction Radar. Today's segment is about Congressman Glenn Ivey. Folks, I'm so disappointed with our congressional system right now. It just makes me so upset. You know, who's Congress's allegiance to? Clearly, it's not the United States and it's not the United States citizens. But without any further ado, let's jump into this.
Ambassador from El Salvador to the United States. We met last week. I told them we were coming and we went to meet with Kilmar, so they were aware of that. We also had direct communications with other members of the government, so they knew we were coming. And we talked with our ambassador, who also reached out to the government here. So the fact that they didn't let us in fact, they told us at the gate that we had to go back to San Salvador to get a permit, which is ridiculous.
How dare they tell a congressman to go back and get the appropriate paperwork? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, sir. You're no longer in the United States of America, where you have to abide by rules and policies. Got it. How dare they?
It's an international visit. I'm a member of Congress.
He's a member of Congress, don't you know? Congress can do whatever they want to do. Gosh.
I should have the opportunity to visit with my constituent. And the United States has a contract with El Salvador. Apparently, we haven't been allowed to see that yet.
Sir, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here. You're a congressman and a lawyer. Are you illiterate? And are you dumb? How is it that you're a body of Congress? There's a contract between the United States and El Salvador, but you haven't seen the paperwork yet. Does that make any sense? Seriously. Amazing. So you could be in the wrong country doing the wrong thing, and you don't even know because you haven't even seen the contract.
The United States has a contract with El Salvador, and the money that comes from that has to be authorized by Congress because we have the power of the. So I had an oversight opportunity here that was not permitted, and I think that was a big mistake on the part of the El Salvadoran government. But the bigger issue is the Trump administration. Because I know that President Trump would pick up the phone, make a call to El Salvador, and have Kilmar released and sent back to the United States. If he made the call, he'd be back within hours.
So I want y'all to think about something for me, okay? Democrats in Congress like to do this fear-mongering thing on you. Folks, wake up and think about this for a minute. If you're a United States citizen, where are they deporting you to? Where? You are in your country, okay? The only person that could be deported would be a naturalized citizen. A naturalized citizen, if you break the rules and laws that are stipulated within the guidelines, they can revoke your naturalization paperwork and you will be deported. But again, you're being deported back to the country of origin, right? So for example, if I'm from Egypt, and I did something wrong, and I'm a naturalized citizen, and I did something wrong, I cannot be deported to Mexico. That is not my country. So therefore, with Garcia, he was deported back to his country. Okay? So I want y'all to think about that for a minute. And again, Congress, what are you doing? What are you doing? So we're gonna pay. We already got this guy deported, right? one trip already paid for deportation. Now you want us to bring him back for another fee that we're going to have to pay. Then we're going to have to pay for the court costs and court fees. Then we're going to, not to mention food and everything else, right? Then, whether he's found guilty or not guilty, let's say he's found guilty and we got to go back again. So that's another trip. So that's 4 times we're paying for one thing that's already been solved, right? Secondly, if he's not found not guilty, now what? Does he get to stay in the country illegally now and become the citizen's problem? Because now we got to pay more taxes and increase taxes to take care of people that are not following our laws. But clearly you have to follow their laws. What does that tell you? Congress is more worried about illegals than citizens and more worried about following other countries' policies rather than the United States policies.
So the Trump administration has been dragging its feet. The Supreme Court of the United States told them to facilitate Kilmar's return. They have not done that, which I think is a clear violation of the Constitution. And it's important for us in Congress to support the judges in the United States who are making these rulings.
And what about the citizens of the United States of America, Mr. Congressman? What are you doing about them that are getting put in harm's way, that are being harmed and unalive by allegedly illegal immigrants, are being unalive by other citizens? What are you, Congress, doing about that, Mr. Congressman? Because we have another clip coming up that you guys are going to see in a minute.
Continue pressuring the Trump administration to comply with the law. So,
They're facing charges after a local mother.
So this is another clip here. While Congressman Glenn Ivey is in El Salvador trying to fight for an illegal immigrant, where is Congress on this segment that's going to come up now? Where are the Benjamin Crumps? Where's the, Reverend L. Sharpton? Where's BLM? Where's the noise? Where's the outroar? You're going to see the congressman went to meet with families of El Salvador to listen to El Salvador's problem when they're saying, oh, the government is just grabbing our people and locking them up. Really? Really? That's the same thing you're saying about the United States of America, that we're locking up citizens and we're deporting them and sending them. Come on, folks. Wake up. Wake up and grow up. Put on your big boy pants and big girl pants and become an adult and start doing adult things. Like stop lying and fear-mongering and playing these little mind games. Stop it. You're better than this. You're better. This American citizen was unalive. A mother. I don't recall seeing any outroar. I don't see no congressman making any trips to her house, sitting down with her family, talking to them. No. Why? Why should they? It's a United States citizen. Who cares about those peasants? We need to go over to a different country and listen to their concerns and their policies. He goes to the El Salvador prison. How dare they not let me on? What am I going to do? I'm a congressman. But when you're on the United States soil and you're in Newark, you want to fight with the ICE agent and you want to storm the building. Well, sir, go ahead. Why aren't you doing that in El Salvador? Oh, that's right, because you're not stupid then, are you? You know there's going to be consequences of ramification. But see, the United States Congress have watered down our system so much that these idiots can do whatever they want to do. Like you see, assaulting ICE agents, they're playing on camera, and then come out and say they're the victim. The congresswoman was the one that started cursing, started yelling, assaulted the officer, and then goes on TV and tell people, that wasn't me. Oh my God, I was a victim, and it was DHS that were the aggressors. Lady, wake up. Did you see the video? Are you and the news people are actually showing this and then have her sit there? I think that Congress should be held to a degree like police officers are held. I have a few friends that are police officers, and they have told me, if a police officer is caught lying on the stand, that officer technically is to be fired because they can no longer testify in court because they were caught lying on stand. The same thing should be applied to Congress. If you're caught lying, fear-mongering, and spreading wrong information, you should not be in Congress. What's your purpose in Congress? Other than nonsense like this where you're spewing idiocracy. Why?
Was shot in her car. 40-year-old Larisha Thompson was shot and killed in her car off Riverside Road in Lancaster. The sheriff's office says the people arrested are tied to another crime as well, and because of their immigration status, they also now face deportation. WCNC's Charlotte Jesse Pierre is in Lancaster with the latest developments.
Larisha Thompson's life ended in tragedy, gunned down while she was driving down the road. Tonight, 6 people between the ages of 13 and 21 years old facing murder charges in this case.
People like this have no place in our society.
No, sir. They do. They deserve a place in our society according to Congress. And if you lock them up and they're deported, Congress, hey, have no fear, will be over in that country protesting. I think Congress should get in contact with Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton. They should all go to these countries and, basically protest whatever's happening, because clearly the United States citizen does not matter. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, it doesn't.
We will do everything in our power to make sure the full weight of the law is brought down on these 6 individuals.
6 people, including 4 teenagers, are behind bars facing multiple charges. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office says, first, the group tried and failed to break into a convenience store, damaging a bathroom door and shooting up the security cam. Days later, they say that group shot and killed 40-year-old Larisha Thompson.
Somebody lost their mom, sister, aunt, mother. Just a tragedy. This person is out doing the same thing you and I do, just driving down the road, minding their own business.
The sheriff says Thompson was driving down Riverside Road on her way to meet friends when the group tried to rob her. He says 21-year-old Azael Torres Chirinos is the one who pulled the trigger, hitting Thompson, leaving her for dead in her car. Officials say none of the suspects are in the country legally and should not have had the gun.
They took the life of an innocent young lady, didn't have the right to be here, much less commit these crimes here.
Detainers have been placed on all 6, so if any of them were to become eligible for release, they would be taken into ICE custody.
And why would they be taken into ICE custody? Because when ICE deport them, again, we're going to have congressmen. And when I say congressmen, I mean the entire body, okay, for those, in Congress that are illiterate when it comes to the American language. Congressman does not necessarily refer to your sex, but it's your position. For example, I seen them went off on, someone in C-SPAN because the person said congressman, and they're like, I'm a woman. Well, the mailman, you don't say mail woman, right? The mailman brings you a letter, you're gonna be like, hey, the mailman is here. It doesn't necessarily really refer to a male. It could be a female. It's the position. A police officer, you're gonna say an officer. You're not gonna say male officer, female officer. Come on, let's stop playing games. Stop playing the games, okay?
And wrongly deported from Prince George's County back in March. Our Scott Broom is on Capitol Hill, where Ivey aimed to keep a spotlight on this case.
Maryland Congressman Glenn Ivey back in his office today after a weekend visit to El Salvador, where he was denied access to the Santa Ana prison. He believes his constituent, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, is being held illegally.
So they knew we were coming, they knew why we were coming, they knew when we were coming, and they just stonewalled us at the gate. So that was ridiculous.
We ought to have a chance to come in and visit.
I mean, I just think it's, it's a congressional delegation making an international trip, essentially a fact-finding mission, to not even open the gate and answer.
No, that's their policy. That's their right, and that's what they do. And when you grow a pair of strong backbones here in the United States of America, you're going to stand up for the same thing as well. When you have policies and rules and procedure in place, you stand by it. You don't go, my back's so weak, I can't even stand. Oh my God, which way do I stand on? No, you stand firm, behind, in front, and next to your laws. Exactly what they did. Kudos to those people.
answer any questions is preposterous.
The Trump administration.
Preposterous is you and Congress. Again, no coverage. Didn't see you guys do anything for that United States citizen that was murdered.
Administration claims Kilmar Garcia is a dangerous MS-13 gang member, despite evidence a photo posted by the president of alleged gang tattoos is.
Here's another clown. Where did you get your reporting degree from, sir? Box of Lucky Charms cereal? Again, did you do any type of investigatory anything since you want to be a reporter? I guess not, because there are court documents. His wife came out and said he did X, Y, and Z. Her baby daddy, your ex-husband, came out and said he is a gang member. She was on videotape confessing to a judge that he is a gang member and he tried to harm her. But what's your words? Allegedly MS-13, no proven facts.
A fake. Tennessee State Police released a traffic stop video of Abrego Garcia driving a car with 9 men inside. He was not charged despite suspicions he was trafficking migrants.
He's getting paid, all of these people, probably to Maryland.
Ivey says the Justice Department should not be afraid to bring Abrego Garcia back to the U.S. to prove in court the allegations against him and dozens of other deportees in.
Yeah, why should you be afraid of the illegals that got deported once already? I mean, we're just going to bring them back like a bunch of idiots, have them roam into the country again, hiding, learning from the mistakes that they made before they got caught, and committing more crime and murders. What could possibly go wrong?
Similar circumstances as the Constitution requires.
The biggest part that all Americans should be paying attention to is that the Trump administration is ignoring court orders, including from the Supreme Court. My hope is that, the public pressure will get to him, because there are people in red states and red districts.
Yeah, public pressure, again, like Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton, whoever else. Let's put the pressure on President Trump for trying to do what's right by deporting illegal immigrants who were convicted of crimes and things of this nature. Because again, look what they just did. But how dare they? How dare they even deport anyone? And especially if they have a criminal background. My God, that is preposterous. Oh, whoa. How dare they not let me into the jail? Whoa.
Districts that think the president should follow the law and follow the Constitution.
And he is, by keeping the United States citizens safe. What are you guys doing, Congress? Oh. You guys are a bunch of jokes.
Also, on the trip to El Salvador, Ivey met with families who claim the El Salvadoran government is disappearing citizens into its prison system.
Oh, forgive me, sir. I shouldn't say, you guys are a bunch of clowns, because clearly you're listening to citizens of a different country about their concerns and not the citizens of the United States. Oh my God, where is my thought process on that? Boy, I had that all wrong. We shouldn't even be worried about the United States and United States citizens. Those peasants, how dare they? How dare they? We should go to El Salvador and listen to those people complaints, those people concerns, and their policies. Gosh, how dare you guys?
Ivey says Congress has not approved spending taxpayers' money to pay the El Salvadoran government to keep U.S. deportees in such prisons. Another reason, he says, the scheme is unconstitutional. On Capitol Hill, Scott.
Yeah, the scheme is unconstitutional because apparently when you become a congressperson in Congress in the United States of America, apparently when you take an oath of office, even if you do take an oath of office, because I don't think these jokers do that anyway, but apparently when you do it, you plead allegiance to another country other than the United States, because clearly that's what you guys are doing. Your allegiance is to other countries other than the United States, but what say you guys? All right, I would love to know what your thought process is on this. Was this a cover-up story or just politics as usual? Drop your comments below, and until next time, stay informed and engaged. Have a good one.